Guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. Can I just pause the video real quick and say, bro, I look so dead. I'm gonna have to start actually taking care of myself whenever I do these videos with the camera so zoomed in. Good bit to dive into what's going on in the ALGS world right now. Hope the camera angle doesn't look too weird. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, but made a little bit of a room adjustment as well, and so it doesn't look too bad on my actual monitor from what I'm seeing right now, but I'm looking really high up in the air, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. But once again, we got to talk about groups and even my opinion on the favorite team from each group as well that I want to look out for. Also some results of some things going on in the APAC South scene. Also want to talk about Pro League and when specifically it's going to be starting, and then of course some drama going on in the scene as well. So of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date all things going on in the ALGS scene. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into what's going on today. First off, I wanted to mention, someone had asked me, hey, I'm an ALGS viewer, but I don't really know exactly how the whole format works. Can you explain it really quick? So just in case you guys are tuning in here for ALGS or Apex Legends Pro scene, and you like to keep up with the news and the drama and the roster changes, but you don't understand how the actual format works, this is basically the exact same format last year that we're going to be having this year as well. Don't really look at the dates though. The dates are a little off. So first off, we just got done with the PSQ. So 4 weeks and 8 teams or whatever came out of that to go into the Pro League. We're about to start the online session right here, which is the Pro League coming up. So this is going to be multiple weeks upon weeks of playing, these groups playing against each other. The top 12, I believe, of all the cumulative points here from this Pro League session will go on to Split 1 playoffs that you see right here. So Split 1 playoffs is going to be in person, an actual LAN event. Now there's rumored to be North American LAN, Japan LAN, and then maybe even a European LAN again this year. So I would imagine that the Japan LAN is probably going to be champs. I've heard that the first LAN is going to be North America. We'll actually, have to wait around and see. But then also you've got Split 2 Pro League. So after this, you go into another session of Pro League. Same thing. The top X amount of teams will make it to another land as well. This is the one that we have heard or rumored could be the European land. And then after that, all of the top teams from they number out from there are going to go to champs as well. So a lot of this basically just goes from one land to another land. So then on the bottom side, you see another Pro League qualifier happening here. You've got Challenger Circuit stuff going on. So Challenger Circuit number 1 is actually 2 different Challenger Circuits, and then a Challenger Circuit number 2 is basically Split 1 and Split 2. So there's 4 Challenger Circuits normally. So that's what's going to go on. And then you'll also have Last Chance Qualifier. You'll have an LCQ for these teams to get into champs as well. So teams that didn't make it into the the playoffs or whatever, they'll be able to have their chance in the LCQ as well. So that's kind of how the format works. It's a little weird. It's also a little confusing because you have to stay up to date. It's not necessarily I can just tell you everything that's going on. You also have to kind of stay up to date with how many teams are getting invited, because the team's invite changes depending on how well they perform. So if North America does really, really good, then they get more spots. I think they're capped out right now at 12. But then if North America does really bad, they'll lose spots. And then the next lane, you'll have more EMEA teams or more APAC South teams that get invited or something along those lines. So that's kind of how it works, though. A little bit of an update to the format for those of you that are a little confused as well. Also wanted to mention some of the drama going on in the scene right now. Earlier this morning, there's a lot to this, by the way. Earlier this morning, Apex Legends professional coach Seneska for E6 had called out taisheen for a lot of these scam allegations. And according to the story, it gets really deep, by the way. Seneska has since deleted the tweet and also stated he doesn't want taisheen to get too much hate or anything like that. He just wants to bring awareness to what's going on. So eventually it started off with Seneska saying, hello everyone, I didn't want to have to make this public, but it is what it is. taisheen basically has begged several people for money and never paid it back, including myself. He gave me several deadlines. Each time I had to message him back for it, and every time I got a stupid excuse. He seems to be a gambling addict. Do yourself a favor and do not give him any money. taisheen, you told me about your problems and I trusted you, but you are a piece of crap for this. Now, of course, like I said, he deleted this tweet since then, and also it said he didn't want taisheen to get too much hate or ruin anybody's life. He just wanted to bring awareness. And also there was more to add to the story, right? So we did reach out to taisheen and get some responses as well. A lot of people were saying that he was a gambling addict. It was not only Seneska's tweet. A lot of people in the comments were saying the same things as well. These allegations, though, had been made in times past as well. So taisheen, of course, had retired once before, came back into the scene recently, and so people had said that this is nothing new for him. But he did respond to the situation, and we actually reached out to him, and he said that he was lying, said that Seneska was lying, that he was mad, and that he's also getting his money now. And so he also took it to Twitter to say, you are a piece of crap for lying and saying that I got money from several people and never paid it back. I asked you as a friend and you turned out to be a piece of crap. all along. Taisheen eventually did pay it back. We spoke with Seneska as well. Taisheen had paid the money back that he was basically supposed to owe Seneska, and so that whole ordeal got cleared up. Some other pros though decided to chime in though. RKN came to say that, bro, you shared a GoFundMe on Twitter and asked for people to pay your debts and taxes while you beg for money on the side and have the audacity to call someone else that helped you a piece of crap. I will always support those in need, but this is just gross. You need to go get help. Taisheen responds to say, you have no idea what you're talking about. Just stay back. So I asked Taisheen about this specific tweet and about the GoFundMe and everything, and he responded that basically, yes, it was true, and sadly, after all of this happened, he realized it was a bad decision. Yes, he responded, but I deleted after a couple hours and was depressed like any other human would be as well. So that's the full story of what's going on. So a lot of drama, like I said, a lot of this has been deleted, but the ongoing conversation goes on. Just be aware of what you're doing and who you're giving money to at the end of the day, and just keep yourself safe. Also wanted to bring this to light. Actually, we'll bring this one towards the end of the video because I really wanted to mention what's going on with people being frustrated about the state of the ALGS and their updating status. It seems like all the esports content is really just coming from hearsay, rumors, drama, or anything like this. And this was coming from a man named Q. This guy does a lot of coverage for the ALGS and honestly anything esports. He loves to, he's more of an avid, he's a really good avid viewer. He makes some videos on it as well. Really nice guy in the scene as well. But he basically, you know, is a little frustrated. We're 24 days from the start of ALGS Year 4. We're 7 days removed from apparently Sweet joining the Stallions. Because if you take a look, this is the overall groups that we thought we were going to get, but Sweet is not going to be in Group A anymore if he's going to the Stallions, because they are apparently in Group C. So basically saying, how long until we get clarity on this situation? Why are they not updating us? Why is ALGS not giving us, you know, the official groups, the official announcements, some official stamps and everything? Why is it just still hearsay and we're right here towards the end of it? So who gets the final spot? Because that's another conversation to have. If you have the situation of NRG not getting their Pro League spot anymore, because if Nathan and Sweet's going to be splitting up, that means that the NRG spot is forfeited. That means Sweet's going to be joining the Stallions more than likely. And that means where in the world does Nathan go? So if that happens, then what do you do? Is it going to be Tripods? I actually had a dream the other day that Tripods got invited. I don't know why. I think it's because we were talking about it. But Tripods, could it get invited? Could it be the Oversleepers who were 5th place overall that you had to be in that top 4? Who really knows? I really don't know who's going to be set to get this spot. But like I said, we are really, really close to the Pro League itself. And I'm kind of surprised that we haven't got any official announcement of what's going on or anything like that. The official Pro League itself should be starting, according to my website and according to the official ALGS announcement on the EA website, unless they changed it, was January the 20th and 21st. So somewhere in that weekend, that is when Pro League Split 1 should be starting. So really interested to see if they get anything out anytime soon, because we are dying for some official updates as well. Also wanted to mention what's going on in the APAC South scene. This one was a little weird. So Zero, as you guys know, playing for Dark Zero in the North American scene, but from the APAC South scene, recently played with a squad known as Divine. Now, Divine has former Moist esports player named Pricey, and a very good squad to say the least. And they finished first place in what they were playing as well for the FFL Apex Reboot qualifier. Nice to see some other organizations doing some tournaments as well. We just talked about Aurora in the last video doing some things, so really nice to see that stuff going on. But Divine finishing in first place over there, and it's really, honestly, it's kind of nice to see Zero competing in APAC South, and I wouldn't mind seeing you know, another run from the boys and, you know, Jen Burton and Zero. I would really like to see another APAC South, because I want to be interested in other regions. I don't want North America to be so stacked all the time and feeling like that's the only applicable region to really look out for. Also wanted to mention my strongest team from each ALGS Pro League group from North America. This is basically based upon the conception that we know the groups based upon what Minus Tempo posted a couple of days ago, right? So we know that some of these might change. We already know that Sweet's going to be going to Group C more than likely if he does go into the Stallions. So a lot of things obviously to consider here, but you've also got some roster changes that you know, we could maybe be surprised by as well. So my strongest team per group, you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think, and maybe you totally disagree. Number 1, Group A, it's no surprise that the former world champions or current world champions right now, TSM, are probably the most likely to be the top person in this group. Now, of course, it doesn't really matter. The groups don't necessarily mean too much. It just determines who's going to be in what lobby at what time. but it does make it easier if you feel like you know yours is a little bit easier of a group. You'll get more points throughout the groups as well, and it should be an easier time for you. But you know, I think TSM is undoubtedly the favorite team out of Group A. Then you move on to Group B, and this one was a weird one because I know a lot of people are looking at Optic Gaming, and then you also see Dark Zero, and you think that Dark Zero on paper should just simply be that good. But Dark Zero hasn't really been performing as well in scrim sets, and they've been playing a lot of them, by the way. I'm surprised that we haven't really seen a tear from Dark Zero at all. Optic Gaming obviously hasn't had as many reps as far as League of Legends goes, but the Phony, Frex, and Zainu team with League of Legends had to be my top team in Group B. Those guys are just simply playing really good, really consistent, and have the results to back it up as well. And then Group C, I would probably propose that this is the strongest group in the entire North American set. And I would say that the team coming out of this group is probably the strongest team right now compared to all other teams, and that is XSET. Since picking up Koiful, I feel like this roster has not only done so good in scrims, has looked so good in literally everything they play. They're just really on fire right now, and even this, like, it's just in general, bro. Furia already there, right? If they could keep that momentum, then you could argue that they could be the team. If Stallions picks up with Sweet Dreams and they do just as good as we think they're gonna do, then of course that would be great. But Moist Esports is another team you got to look out for, because Moist is so solid and also have been doing good in scrim sets as well. Meat Lovers has picked it up as well. You know, so there's so many teams in here. Sentinels have honestly been like an underdog, or kind of like under the radar, because they're constantly placing top five, and no one's really talking about them. You can't forget the Yanya team. Dojo hasn't really played as much as well. This roster is, or this group is just so stacked, and I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys you know, just kind of popped off and had their moment as well. But overall, I think XSET has probably had the best roster off season, and we'll see actually how they perform in Pro League coming up pretty shortly. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about all the topics in today's video, and if you want to stay up to date all things ALGS, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, we will see you all later, Gators.